Left for his new chain swing with an old king. You with a gold lane, two to win the whole thing. Ruler of the game, it didn't naturally. Catalyst, the cataclysm's happening. Pacifist hard, but now my heart is where the cards is. Top deck.
Oh, that's right. I actually didn't say this. Actually, first off, this thing is loud as all hell in my ear. But that actually is something that Yugi and Yami say a lot. That they believe in the heart of the cards to get the card that they need to push through any situation that's coming their way. So, but yeah, that is something that they say a lot, and that's really like an iconic quote from Yu-Gi-Oh. That there is a few, but that's a really iconic one, at least from Yugi and Yami. So. Alright, and yeah, these are the three Egyptian god cards. This is Obelisk the Tormentor, that's the one Kaiba had. This is Cypher the Sky Dragon that Yugi won off of one of Merrick's I guess minions, because he was kind of like mind controlled into working for Merrick. And then this is the one Merrick had I keep forgetting the name, something Ra. And apparently this one's supposed to be like the yellow one's supposed to be the most powerful one, but each card is like sickeningly, disgustingly strong. Like, so that's why I was like, whoever obtains all three would be like the top duelist, and in the end, Yugi ended up getting all three.
Really wonder who's stopping them first. Hold up, let me go, please. I was there with the pen, you gon' forward each time. Make 1,000 in a day off these OG lines. And my shorty got fans, I bet all three fine. Me and the king be back to back, landing me, my eyes red just like the black dragon.
Yeah. Oh, actually, let me go back. That was the. Dang it! It's not showing it. Hold on. Yeah, this ended up becoming Joey's iconic card, the Red Eyes Black Dragon that he got off a duelist called Rex Raptor, who had a lot of dinosaur cards, which I guess this was supposed to be like an ancient dinosaur, I guess. Or maybe he just really liked the card, but yeah, Joey beat him in a duel, and I guess they both wagered their top card, and with Joey winning, he ended up getting it. Which is actually a pretty sick card. This card plays a big role too. At one point, he gives it to Yugi during like Battle City, and it really helped him out during tough situations as well. Yeah, this is actually this is pretty funny because I just actually thought about this as this was coming up. But this was something that she did in the very like first episode, because once Yugi was gonna battle against Kaiba, after beating his grandpa, pretty much sending him to the hospital, I think Yugi was like getting really scared and worried. So Taya was like, "Hey guys, put all your hands together. Let's do this." And she like made a made a smiley face on their hands, and basically was like, "This is like a symbol of our friendship. Even once it's away, the symbol is still there to like symbolize that no matter how far apart we are, we'll always be together." It's so funny and it's crazy because for years I never saw the smiley face until someone said it, and now I can't unsee it. Which is actually pretty funny because that is true. She's only done like 2 or 3 duels, and she like technically won all 3. First one was against Mai, but Mai quote unquote kind of forfeit, so she still technically won. The other one she won against one of the executive that was trying to take her body and the Noah arc. And I swear I think she had like one more duel, but I can't remember who it was against and how she won. But I know there was like one more duel she did that she like still in some way or somehow won. Alright, and that's Duke Devlin, the creator of Dungeon Dice Monsters. Or just actually pretty funny. I remember that too. That when he met Joey's sister Serenity, oh, he was all over her, like trying to chat her up and everything. And of course, at this point, I think I already said it that Tristan has like a huge crush on her too. So seeing Duke being kind of this quote unquote kind of like playboy, how he was acting with all the girls back in school, seeing him trying to make the moves on Serenity, of course, really gets him upset. Serenity's like this sweet, kind of innocent girl, so he's like, yeah, no. There's no way I'm gonna let a guy like that, get with her. But, here's Tristan. Actually, that's pretty funny. I don't think they've ever said what the age difference is between, like, Joey and Serenity. Cause they look pretty close in age. It looks like they're like maybe 2 or 3 years. Like she's like 2 or 3 years younger than his. I'm thinking. I don't remember it. I don't think they ever like really specify how much of an age difference. It's not huge because she's not like a kid. She's like around their age, so she's probably like 2 or 3 years younger than them, if I'm remembering. I'm guessing. They never really said what her age is, so I'm thinking she's only like 2 or 3 years younger than them. Understanding, I'm here to play, I'm not just standing. Bring out copies like Thunder Dragon, rocking on me like the commander. Cypher, roll with the brand, no Kyber. So much game, I've been stuck inside. Hey, roll with me, I don't fuck with dice. Shoulders change, but I don't stay high down. She wanna join me on the floor, cause I got these moves that she can't ignore. Take it back to the room, cause she wants some more. She can touch anything with the pompadour, bitch. All I need is me, myself. Hi. I'm not gonna lie, I loved Taya, but Mai was a different type of girl. I loved Mai Valentine. Oh my god. And the fact that she was kind of like really the only like reoccurring female duelist we had in the original series. I mean, because we had Taya and she had a few duels, but she wasn't like known for being like a top duelist like Mai. And Mai was like no nonsense. She got things done. And yeah, no, I loved Mai, and I know she was probably a lot of people's crush in the beginning, back in the day. But no, Mai was a cool chick. Also, that's another thing they never really specify. I mean, you probably could look it up, but you supposed to know that Maya's supposed to be like older than all of them. Because she can like actually drive a car. I think she's supposed to be like somewhere in her 20s, while they're like still like maybe around 17 or like maybe 16, 17, or maybe even 18. But I think Maya's supposed to be like somewhere in like her early 20s, I believe. But they never really specify where her age is. So that's why it's another kind of like thing people kind of iffy about. Kind of seeing the kind of romance blooming between him and Joey. But I'm thinking like at most they're like around like 17, close to 18. and then mine's supposed to be like somewhere in like her early 20s, like maybe 22, 23, maybe even 24. I don't think she's that much older than them, but I think she is supposed to be like older than them by like a couple of years. Still, cool chick. I love her. Alright, next.
I'm like a virus, you'll be dying when the cannon is busted. And trust is nothing you can suffer because you cannot defeat the CEO with CEDR. And I never switch my position, you bitches dropping economics. The only time that I'm switching, and when it comes to crushing cause, I'm known to clock competition. So when they cry my position, I make it down on the mission. To look at don't imagine, I don't pretend. So fuck your magic and fuck your friends. Attempt being me tragic, but it don't demand. I'll unearth this task, and if it means revenge,
which is it's pretty funny because that is something he kind of does. And it's just it's so in his character to be like he just wouldn't not accept defeat against the Pharaoh that easily. He's like, nah, like I'm gonna run it back. I don't care. Like I don't care what I gotta do. Well, we gonna run that back. That just it's so Kaiba, but no, this verse is hard. Like oh my god. Better play it calls right for it's too late. Me and Twin going in, Yami Yugi with the pen. If he ever got a problem, you know who we calling in. Tag teaming like D Generation X. Didn't have a name, I was out here trying to take a risk. Blue eyes, white dragon like Dr. Umar. Never going back in the tomb, it's a new start. You hard size on my body cause I seen it all, but I never seen a love. Every enemy get tossed. How can you defeat a boss? More or less a god. Killer with a deck of monsters, now they petrified. Now hold on. Before I even continue to like listen, like that one was hard as well, but you gotta know that iconic look that the Pharaoh was rocking back in I think it's in Battle City because for the most part his outfit doesn't really change. But when this is such an iconic look. And this is such a hard look too. When he's pretty much wearing like the tight black shirt with no sleeves, like pretty much up to his shoulders. Then he's got the jacket over like a cape. Then of course he's got the chain with the Manilian puzzle. Like, nah, this is a hard look. Like, and then it gets updated back in the like last movie that came out. But then he has like gold, like I guess gold like Egyptian wristband or armbands. It's so cool. See, you can cut not here. Yeah, here. Now, when this was released, and then when they did that, I was like, "Oh, they're gonna do another one, and they're gonna do the villains." I like, let's freaking go! So yeah, that's the first one. So freaking good. All right, so let's pause that, so I can grab the second one. Oh, yeah, actually, here it is. Oh, nope, pause that. And this one, the both of them are just too hard. I can't with these. I can't. All right, so this is the second one with the villains. Oopsie, wrong one. There we go. Alright, make sure the audio's up. Alright, so this was the second one that popped up. This is the second one they did. With a few different people, but this one was the villains. So by Camp Study again, by Peso Pet, Connor Quest, McGuire, and more. So this was the villains, and this one was just as peak as the Protagonist one. So here we go.
Come on, Yugi boy, you can't face the creator with stupid toys. Disadvantage is stacked, trapped in a way, match. I tailor the plan to what you've deployed. I rep onto the game with the golden eye. A focus sight to the olden time. Turn all devices to poltergeist. I can't roll his
Wait, hold on. I just noticed something. In the first thing, his eyes was blue, but then in the anime, yeah, see right here, his eye is blue. But with the rest of the clips you see, his eyes are brown. Was that maybe just a mix-up, or was this? I don't know. I never noticed that till just now. I was like, huh, wait. I was like, wait a minute. When I just saw it now, I was like, wait, his eyes aren't that color. I thought his eyes were like a dark color, and they were, cause you see in the other clips. But okay. Mm. Yeah, so he had the Millennium Eye, which gave him the power to extract people's souls and trap them. And he would trap them in like blank dual monsters cards. So that's how he got Yugi's grandfather in the beginning. That's how he was able to force Yugi to participate in Duelist Kingdom. Did the same thing later on to the Kyra brothers when they, played in. So yeah, each one can kind of give people different powers. The Millennium Eye can like steal souls. The Millennium Necklace can see into the future and the past, I believe. The Millennium Necklace that Bakura, which actually I didn't even talk about Bakura, he plays a huge part in the series. I don't remember what power that one has. I just know that it just made Bakura evil. Millennium Rod, I think it's the same thing. Can like extract souls, send people to the quote unquote shadow realm. I think that's it. There's one more, but I think that one's kind of like acts like a key that you can like unlock things. So that's about it. But yeah. Not gonna lie, Pegasus was such a cool villain. He really was. Oh yeah, this asshole. Oh my god, Bandit Keith. I didn't even talk about him much because he was just the biggest cheater, biggest just hater, but he was such a good character too. Yeah, no, okay. I wanted to pause briefly on this one only because this is one of the scenes that the Ford Kids dub heavily edited, because in the original anime, he gets disqualified because Pegasus finds out, tells everyone, or it's like revealed at first, like, oh hey, you were cheating or you were doing this. He tried to like prevent Joey from even entering the duel by stealing one of the cards he needed to qualify. But he ended up getting one that Mai had that she didn't need anymore. But then towards the end, I think after Joey won, he's like, no, he cheated. The card he used to even enter the duel wasn't his. But then Joey was like, well, yeah, it's not mine, but how did you know that? You only knew that if you knew that I had somehow lost my original card. So how you gonna explain that? And that's when Pegasus reveals, like, yeah, no, I've been watching you this whole duel, and yeah, you've basically been cheating since the beginning, but you still, even with all the cheating and tricks, you still lost. So you're disqualified. You lost, but you're gonna be disqualified anyways. Has his workers escort him out. We think he's gone. He actually comes back. Man has a gun. Don't know where he was hiding that. Jumps up the Pegasus and basically was like, sorry. Basically jumped up the Pegasus, has the gun to his head, and is like, nah, that's not how this is gonna work. You're gonna give me the prize money, regardless. You think this is funny? You think this is games? No. I tried playing it by your rules, sort of. But now you're playing it by my rules. You're gonna give me the money. So go back. Okay, now the oops, go back. These two little assholes. Now this is Rex Raptor and Weevil Underwood. Basically, they're kind of like the first kind of mini antagonist that Yugi and Joey had to against. Weevil took Yugi's Exodia cards and flung them into the ocean before they even got to Duelist Kingdom to try to cipher Yugi's chances of winning. Still end up losing anyways. Rex, of course, saw that Joey was a beginner, thought he'd be easy prey. Even I think that's why he leveled his Red Eyes Black Dragon as a wager for the duel, lost, and ended up becoming Joey's. And since then, they've just hated the two of them, blaming them because in the beginning they were top duelists, not like probably around not the same level as Kaiba, but were pretty up there, pretty famous, pretty well known, and being defeated by basically two rookies who weren't really in the dueling field like that, kind of really like dampered on them to the point that they both just hate Yugi and Joey for what they believe they did to them. So, but yeah. Now that was hard. Okay, now this is Noah, who's part of the virtual world arc, the one that happens between Battle City. Basically, we find out that he's actually Gorzaboro's biological son, but due to a terrible accident, ended up becoming like, I think in the English dub, he became like comatose. So his dad like sent his conscious to the virtual world and thinking that it would help him, but I being the asshole dad that or person that he is, ended up abandoning Noah in the virtual world, giving up on him entirely, focusing more on finding an actual quote unquote living child to be his next heir. And with that, him growing a hatred for Kaiba and Mokuba, being that they kind of took over his place, took the father's love, but eventually, found out and kind of grew to understand that no, your father's just a piece of shit who never really cared about you like that. Like, you were his son, but yet he was quick to abandon you once you couldn't really live up to his expectations. Alright, oh. So yeah, that was Gozaburo. That's pretty much Kaiba's and Mokuba's stepfather, the original, and Noah's biological father, basically being the cause of all the turmoil between the three of them. Just being a horrible terror, being a horrible father, just horrible, just evil, just selfish, greedy, only wanting power and control. And then the next person is Darts, part of the Orichalcos arc. Okay, now before we get to the last person, now that was Yami Bakuro. Basically, this is a friend of the group who also has a Millennium Eye and Millennium Ring, I think they call it. Basically, it harbors an evil being, kind of. It harbors a being kind of like the Millennium Puzzle, but this one is evil. Just wants world domination, death, destruction, and believes by doing that he needs to obtain all the Millennium items. And let me tell you, if you think he's cruel and evil in the anime version, oh, let me tell you, the manga version, he's just straight up people, like KOing people, like straight up. Um, and he actually end up being like kind of like the final boss in the final arc of the anime. But yeah, no, Yami Bakura, and craziest thing also with him is that no matter how many times they kept getting rid of his Millennium Ring, it just kept popping back up. It was like that deeply connected to Bakuro, which is actually kind of funny. It's kind of like Dr. Jackdaw and Mr. Hyde, pretty much like regular Bakuro, a sweet, kind of nice guy. In English dub, he had like a British accent, so we just think he's this nice, kind of quiet kid. And then when he has his Millennium Ring, basically turns into this murderous fiend out for world domination.
Yes, I'm hiding in that rug. Watch me rip your fucking head when I drop and eat your bug. Can you hear it, bitch? I'm here. Play my dark necrofear. Use the haunted, call him back. Guess you slipped right in my trap. Watch me flip deck on millennium beast on my neck on yo. I'm taking you.
It's such a sorry, I keep pausing, but it's just a crazy contrast when you see how regular Bakura looks. He seems so soft and sweet and innocent, but then when he's Yami Bakuro, he just looks vicious and just evil and just murderous, and it's just such a clear contrast. It's like, whoa. Like just pure evil.
Keeper, Roger, Cyphers, till my seal cage and your lifers. I pull strings and summon Cypher. Can't kill flows from jam revivers. Make my slaves out all your pawns. My weakest holds Exodia. Fulfill my fates, I'll own the gods and I'll trap your face like Odia. In the shadow, yeah, chilling through the pain. I fell when I was locked away. My father's hated that Pharaoh's grain. He's like, boy, lost was same fate. The fears of your souls with your body you lost. I can't be touched when I'm going in rock. My brain controls with the letting you rock. The harder the cards and the treasure of God.
And yeah, that last one was Yami Merrick. Basically like the evil version of Merrick that really resented the fate that was kind of befalled upon him by being I think he's supposed to be like a tombkeeper. It's been something that's in his family. Something that he didn't want to do. He wanted to go out, explore the world, but due to the responsibility of his family of watching over the tomb, he felt like his life was being robbed for guarding someone who possibly wouldn't show up for his entire life. Growing a bitter, evil side that eventually was sorting out the power of the Pharaoh, believing that it was rightfully to be his and that it was just being wasted on the Pharaoh. But yeah, I think we can play this one more time, because this one was good too. I mean, they were all good. Yeah, no, that was cool. That was hard. Oopsie, wrong one. Had to get rid of that. And that. Alright. But yeah, those are the two I wanted to show, like, right after doing the podcast episode. Only because it's like, the minute I thought of Yu-Gi-Oh!, I was like, yeah, no. Those two ciphers were heat when they originally came out. So, I was like, yeah, no. I need to play these for you guys. Because there's another one that another creator that I listened to. But he made one based off of all the Yu-Gi-Oh! Protagonists. So, I think maybe we'll save that one. Maybe once we... let's see. It goes up to Reigns. So maybe once we cover, maybe we'll cover a few more Yu-Gi-Oh series, and we'll go back and we'll play this one. Yeah, cause this one, here, let me show you guys. Yeah, this one right here by Game Boy Jones. It covers all the protagonists. So it covers Yugi. I think also with this one, if I'm remembering correctly, it goes. He doesn't start with Yugi and ends with Yusei. No, what's the brains? Um, I forget what his name is. I've seen Yu-Gi-Oh! Reigns, but I can't remember what his name is, the protagonist. But instead it goes backwards from Reigns to then Duel Monster. So it starts with that protagonist, then goes to Yuma, then no wait, no goes to Yuya, then Yuma, then Yusei, then Jaden, and then Yugi. I can't remember what the Vrain's character, what his name is. He was pretty cool actually, but I can't remember what his name was. Why am I blanking? Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. Give me one quick second, you guys. Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains. I know he has like an Yusaku. There we go. Yusaku. So that's his name. So it goes by Yusaku, then Yuya, Yuma, Yusei, Jaden, and then Yugi. Which is pretty funny because at least here in the dub, you know how all the other characters, main characters, they always have the whole U in their names. But Jaden, at least in the dub, we know him as Jaden Yuki. When I believe in the Japanese, his name is supposed to be Yuki and Jaden's supposed to be his last name. So they switched it. So it's funny how in the dub, he's the only main character whose first name doesn't start with doesn't go by the whole U thing like all the other main protagonists. We know him as Jaden Yuki. So I just think it's kind of funny that he's the only one that doesn't go by the same kind of U like everyone else. But his last name is, and I think they just switched it in the English dub. They went by his last name as his first name and his first name as his last name. But yeah, so I think maybe we'll do like maybe 1 or 2 more Yu-Gi-Oh series, and then we'll play that one. Yeah, cause I kind of don't want to spoil the other ones, but I mean regular Yu-Gi-Oh came out years ago. Same with GX. 5Ds is pretty old. Zexel, yeah, pretty old. Arc 5 is pretty old. And Reigns came out 2017, so that's about 7 years ago. Okay, so yeah, like the latest one, at least the data on this Cypher came out 7 years ago, so yeah. But oops, that's about it. So where's me go to here?